Namaste, viewers. Welcome to Jaipur Dialogue USA. I'm Vibhuti Jha, your host, as always, talking to you about something remarkably that has happened in America. And this is something which is very important for me because people have been talking about all the time. Hindus have no unity, Indians have no unity. But today I want to talk to you about how Indian Americans have beaten back the Adharmic forces that are aligned against us to destroy us. I'm saying Indian Americans because we are genuinely a tapestry of varieties of faiths that enshrines our country, our faith, our belief system. Whether you are a Hindu, Sikh, Jain, Buddha, whatever, the Muslims, everybody is part of the same Indian fabric. But specifically, it is important for everybody to know that the attacks on Indians is mostly centered and focused on attack on Hindus. So this is what is to be borne in mind. Every single force that is doing it, I call them adharmic, for the purposes of the fact that this is a dharmic war for us. It is a very sincere dharmic effort to make the adharmic forces fail. So let's begin with a simple core recall of what happened here. If you remember, few years ago, there was a major global effort to dismantle Hindutva. You remember that? Even to the extent that many Indian billionaires who were funding chairs and endowments in various Ivy League colleges ended up indirectly supporting these initiatives of dismantling Hindutva. And it was all over the world. And America, that was a project evil, if I may say so. Please do allow me to say so. It was project evil. I said it. Go ahead, make my day, as the saying goes. So the issue here is very important. Dismantling Hindutva, which was nothing else but dismantling our faith, because we all know what Hindutva stands for. And let's not mince any words. Let's not be apologetic. Let's not be defensive about it. There is nothing wrong with Hindutva. It is the practice of protecting the Dharma called Hindu. To protect and defend our own Dharma, it can't be wrong. If that method is called Hindutva, so be it. Let's be proud about that. So we succeeded in a global movement through various social media channels. We succeeded in dismantling the agenda of dismantling Hindutva. That was a really, truly remarkable moment, and I felt very proud of that. Let me say this once again here. It was an uncanny event. We were caught by surprise, but the Indians and Hindus rallied around, mobilized, each one got into the mood to fight. And I want to name those institutions that came together individually and collectively. And I'll tell you why I'm so happy about it. Individually, I would put it the Hindu American Foundation, HAF, Kohna, Coalition of Hindus of North America, Vishwa Hindu Parishad of America, Hindu Action, which is another great organization that has come about. You have P Gurus, my friend and colleague from Sri Iyer from P Gurus. We all, and yours truly, Vibhuti Jha on Jaipur Dialogue USA, we fought. We took it upon ourselves to fight in Jaipur Dialogue, India Advent, and we protected ourselves. The entire, its history, that entire Hindutva, anti-Hindutva agenda, dismantling agenda, was beaten to the dust. But the important point is, we can't be, complacent about it. We know the history of India. Prithviraj Chauhan forgave the invader how many times? Look it up. How many times he showed generosity, and you know what happened to him. Now the battlegrounds are very clear. You cannot rest on your laurels. You got to, what I always say, arise, awaken, assert, act, and fight. That's very important. Coming to the second element, which made me very good about it, it happened in New York when the New York State Assembly and the Senate were going to declare swastik as a hate symbol. Believe it or not, we had series of meetings with both Democrat and Republicans, had Zoom meeting in which I also participated, and we educated the senators, state senators, and assemblymen about the significance and importance of swastik for Hindus. Believe it or not, they all said, we had no idea that this symbol was so important for you. And until we explained that the Hindu swastik is not the Hitler Hakenkreuz. If you have to declare anything as a hate symbol, it ought to be Hitler's Hakenkreuz, not swastika. And that's what the word is important. Swastik is important for us. So it was defeated in New York. Somewhere along the line, it was taken up in a few states, but it fell through. That was another second one, big one. And believe it or not, again, we all, the names that I listed, the organizations, they all came together to fight it. In the world of social media, to the lawsuits, everything was, it happened and we overcame that. Then came the caste things. You remember the caste files. One of our friends runs the entire institution called caste files and exposing the vicious nature of the attack that happens on us in the name of caste. It is still happening in India. Think about it. Yesterday I was talking with somebody and he said, how long can you blame Nehru? I said, no, it's not blaming Nehru. It is remembering Nehru, what he did. When the foundation is shaken, if it is a building or a tree, if the roots take place, you have to only uproot. Then only you can put a new tree. Likewise in the building, if the building has, base, knee, when the base is established, the foundation is established, you can only make color changes, cosmetic changes, or a bit of an architectural changes here or there. You can't shake the foundation until you demolish the building itself. So the linguistic division of state, installing caste and not contesting caste as the British did it, it was a failure of the post-independence governance in India. It has carried and trailed and chased us up to here. Nobody has asked my caste, and I have never asked anybody his caste or her caste in America as yet. Never had the need to, never felt the need to. We all are people who are successful in our own right. Therefore, it is very important to understand that Indians living in America had nothing to do with the caste, but the vicious interests, again, the Adharmic forces came to attack us on caste basis. So much so that in a Democrat-run state called California, caste became an SB law to discriminate against Hindus, SB 403. After a bitter fight, again, we succeeded in making governor understand that this particular provision was not required because it's targeted against us, and the existing statutes were strong enough to take care of this. Fortunately, governor understood, whether he played his political goodmanship or otherwise. I do not know that. I do not know what was in his mind, but he was definitely persuaded and told the wrong that this bill would do to a heavily successful Indian donor community to Congress party, to Democratic Party. Whatever worked, he vetoed. And now we have a recent one in which AB 3027 was defeated at the Appropriations Committee level, which was targeting India along with Russia, China, and North Korea as the transnational attack on things which are, so antithetical to the very principles that we live by. So China, Russia, and Korea wouldn't give a damn about the American policy. Guess what? The target again was India. Target again were we, in which if we criticize anybody who was antithetical to Indian needs or Hindu needs, then we would be blamed and we would have to suffer the repercussions. Thankfully, after a sustained campaign of many people, including what I again repeat, the great with gratitude, Hindu American Foundation, Kohana, VHPA, Hindu Action, Hindus for America, Jaipur Dialogue USA, we all did our bit, and not to miss the individual contribution of so many people, whether it was writing letters to the LA Times, editorial, and everybody else about educating and fighting. We won again. The other one which comes to my mind, and that is something worth everybody to pay attention to, including everybody in India. Remember this, whatever is happening here, the attack on Indians and Hindus is targeted towards India. And whatever is done there is targeted towards us again. So Ram Mandir. So recently, Federation of Indian Associations of New Jersey, Connecticut, and New York hosted their annual, you know, uh, Independence Day parade on 18th of August. And the organizers wanted to put the Ram Mandir, float. There was a major attack supported by Council of American Islamic Relations, popularly known as CARE. I wish they had all actually cared for us instead of doing CAIR. If they had done CARED for us, it would have been much better. But they went voluntarily, adharmically, to attack us because Ram Mandir, float with the Mandir depicted there would be anti-Islamic. Think about it. I'm very proud to say that the FIA president and the entire leadership stood firm, and they said, nothing doing. The float will go on. And it did. As a matter of fact, I was told by the president of FIA that Indian American Muslim Council insisted that the Ram Mandir float should be the last one of the parade. Instead, I was told it will be the first. Ladies and gentlemen, these are just the 5 examples of how Indian Americans fought this successfully and established their own credentials that we can't be taken lightly. As a matter of fact, Mayor of New York, I don't know whether he is definitely a very smart guy, to refer to India as Pakistan in some of the references was rather bizarre, quixotic, strange, and sad. Mayor of New York can't make a distinction between India and Pakistan. One is your nemesis who attacks and kills American soldiers and attacks America. The other one is your strategic partner and natural ally. I think Mr. Mayor needs a bit of a teaching and coaching from us to engage with us. It's not enough to come and collect our money and then vote against us. I believe the mayor did not participate in the Independence Day parade. Governor Hochul did not. But I'm glad Sri Ram Bhagwan was there. That's important. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this to you. No Indian, no Hindu, no Sikh, no Gujarat, no Jain needs to ever say, where is unity? Unity comes with a purpose and a cause. And I'm very glad, I'm very proud of each one of us, each one of the entities, individuals, named or have forgotten to name. Be proud of it. And I always suggest and request all of you, this is a defining moment for us. The fights will continue, the attacks will continue, and we have to remember to fight. Whenever ahimsa parmo dharma is a great idea, no doubt about that. But dharmo rakshati rakshata is also the second part of the entire equation. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud of ourselves, of every Indian, every Hindu, every Sikh, every Jain, every Buddhist who joined hands to defeat the Adharmic forces that are attacking India. As I always say, Satyameva Jayate, for the truth to triumph, you got to stand for it. So, see you again. Thank you.